All right, my question is for Dr. Erickson as well as Dr. Joyner. Over the summer, with the applying of the sanctions from the NCAA, why was the consent decree model preferred rather than the traditional NCAA investigation?
Well, the consent decree was taken really as a choice of what would have been a multi-year death penalty for football. I could not see us dealing with the implications of that, both in terms of what it would mean for the program as well as what it would mean for all of intercollegiate athletics. As you probably are aware, our revenues from football help to support nearly all of the other sports that don't generate a net positive revenue. So it really came down to that. As I've said on many occasions, it was the most difficult decision I've ever had to make. And there were unprecedented and severe sanctions. But I and others, including our outside legal counsel, the executive committee of the Board of Trustees that I conferred with, felt that it was the best decision under very difficult circumstances.
I concur with Dr. Erickson because it's unthinkable to think about a death penalty, and not just for intercollegiate athletics, but the funds from intercollegiate athletics do a lot for the student body as well. And so, if you look at the vast array of ripple effect from this in the community, much of the economic impact, positive economic impact in the community comes from 7 weekends a year. And I'd echo what Coach Bill O'Brien said. He's glad to be playing football on Saturdays and glad to be on TV. So yeah, I mean, it's like you're saying, well, quit hitting me with a hammer so it feels good when I stop, kind of thing, But nonetheless, I think that there are a lot of positive things. We're permitted to win our division. We can't play in a championship game, but there's some positive things that are still left on the table there, which I think would be will give. And you see how the team's playing; they're playing very well and very enthusiastic. So we have a box we have to play in. It's smaller than other people's box, but we're going to play very hard in that box. Thanks.
Okay, so this is not a question I was going to ask, but now I'm going to ask it. You said you're going to wait for court cases to play out. Wait, that's due process right there. All along, you guys have taken Joe Paterno's picture down in the hub. You took his statue down. You've tarnished his name. You've given into the media, and now you say we're going to wait for due process? What's going on there? You guys are kind of contradicting yourselves there.
I think that there needs to be clarification about due process. I think that institutions, corporations, colleges, and universities, there are times when we have to make decisions where due process does not apply. Whether hiring people, firing people, that's just the way things are. We couldn't operate if we had to go through due process in everything that we did as corporations, companies, businesses. Due process applies to criminal and civil procedures.
Criminal procedures.
That's right. And I'm saying we're not going to say anything until those play out. It would be unfair to do that. I know you're saying that before we didn't apply due process, but there are lots of inconsistencies in this world. And
so if everyone is vindicated, if it comes out that Joe did not know, did absolutely nothing wrong, will you be putting his statue back? Will the hub change its name back to have an affiliation with Joe? Will his pictures go back up?
As far as I know, we have not eradicated Joe on this campus. There's the Paterno Library.
The Paterno Library, that's the only thing left.
Well,
His statue, his name, there's nothing here. The last thing I'll say,
I
you don't
hope
have to
time will
answer
heal
anymore.
this. That's all I can say.
All I can say is You guys have pretty much torn this university apart. You've torn his name apart, and I cannot be more disappointed in the leadership here.
Okay, I
Thank you.
think
Let me
we
make-
should go to another question so that we can have, unless you want to respond
I
one more
just want to
time.
make one more comment, and that is that it's really important to understand the responsibility that trustees have for the long-term health of an institution. We can't be making decisions because they're the most popular decisions. We have to make these decisions based on the preservation of the university for generations to come, for my grandchildren and your grandchildren. And they are not necessarily the most popular ones.